What is going on, everybody? It is your boy, back at it with yet another video, and today we're starting a brand new review series, at least I hope, anyways, and that will be the Fantastic Four review series. All of this, of course, will be leading up to the newest Fantastic Four film coming out on Friday, but I'm seeing it Thursday. Fantastic Four First Steps. But before we get into actual beginning of the review itself, guys, we are reviewing the first ever Fantastic Four movie, the 1994 version. And also don't forget to subscribe for doing this channel because number one, it's absolutely free. Number two, also maybe help the YouTube algorithm. And I recommend the video to more people and maybe they could join. And you feel free to comment your thoughts on this film down below. With that being said, guys, let's give a quick plot synopsis of the film, shall we? So, transition issues, The film features the team's origin and first battle with Doctor Doom. Yeah, not really a plot synopsis, I know. So, when I started this review series, this was the only Fantastic Four film that I had never watched before, because it actually technically never got released into theaters. It's very hard to find. But I looked on YouTube and found the free version, watched it for the first time, I believe, day before yesterday, if not yesterday. And going in, I had low expectations because most people consider it to be like one of the worst comic book movies of all time, and the average rating for the film is not very good. So even more so than Fan Four Stick. So I was going, it's gonna be rough, ain't it? So with that being said, let's just go and get into the actual review itself, shall we? Alright, so starting off with the good, I do think I like all the comic aesthetic that this movie gets, where it feels as if it's taken straight from one of the Fantastic Four comic books from that time frame, or even the animated TV series, and just planted it into live action form. I actually think they did a pretty decent job at that, for the most part. Which kind of adds for a nostalgic look to it that I do appreciate when I watched this movie for the first time. I think, they do a good job as well at equally using all the Fantastic Four members and giving them each their own times to shine. I think if you had to ask me out of all of them, which one was shortchanged the most, it'd probably be Johnny. But as for, I think The Thing has a pretty decent character arc in here with his little key romance with, which brings me to my next positive, I guess, that I forgot to write down, but his relationship with Alicia throughout the film, I do think, is quite cute, and I think they decently build out his character with that. Reed is used pretty well as well, and then I thought Sue was used okay, too. So, but, I think they use each of the members of the Fantastic Four pretty decently throughout the film. But that is the good done. Now let's move on to the mixed aspects of the film, which I only have two, and this is the part of the movie where I'm 50-50 about it. First one being the cast. I think some of the performances are decent in here, but I also think some of them are very miscast. For example, I think the people that they cast as Mr. Fantastic, The Thing, Invisible Woman were decent enough, but as for the Human Torch and Doctor Doom, not so much in my opinion. I think there's better portrayals of the characters. As for my other mixed aspect I have, it is Doctor Doom as a villain. I like the suit that he wears, very comic book accurate in this, and I like how they slowly kind of build him up throughout the film. However, they make his past with the Fantastic Four a little more different, say, compared to the Fantastic Four from the Tim Story movies, where basically he's just running an operation or whatever, and he's a generic businessman, technically. But as for this one, they make it where him and Reed kind of were friends, and it was just odd, as well. I'm not a fan of how things end for his character, I'll say that. So, it's just, I was 50-50 on him as a villain, which is shocking to say because Doctor Doom's arguably the best Marvel villain of all time. That isn't the big sun, though. Let's now move on to the bad. Number one, out of the CGI, which, to be fair, this is unfair to judge, but also it's kind of fair to judge, because a year before this, Jurassic Park came out, which, for those who do not know, Jurassic Park is my favorite movie of all time. Which had groundbreaking effects, especially for the time, and I'm pretty sure there's other movies that had pretty good effects that time, too. But for this one, not really. Other thing with Doctor Doom, that's part of a negative of mine, it's the way his voice is. Yeah, for those who do not know what I'm talking about, whenever he talks, he has the mask on, right? And it's so hard to hear him, I don't understand what he's saying at all when I was watching this movie. There was a couple of scenes where he was talking, and I heard... I was going, "Excuse me, sir, what are you saying? Hello? I'm all ears. What are you saying? I do not hear what you're saying at all." Where I was just going, yeah, they needed to fix his audio a little bit more, because I'm probably going to loosely talk about this with Fan 4 Stick when I eventually review that. But this completely, well, actually Fan 4 Stick does it in a worse sense, but I'll talk about that when I get to the actual review of the movie itself. But this completely rushes past the middle act of the movie. Well, and to be fair, to its credit, compared to Fan 4 Stick, this actually does have a middle act of the movie, but it just rushes past, specifically how all of the Fantastic Four kind of essentially break up in just a 5-minute span, then they reunite and get all together again to face Doctor Doom and his minions. That is my thoughts on Fantastic Four from 1994. Let's bring out the Toxic Nita. And I'm going to give it Toxic Disappointment a C. I don't think it's nearly as bad as people make it out to be, but still, I don't think this is a good movie. I still think this is just... like, I've seen so many bad comic book movies over the years, so this one was just... yeah, it didn't earn that level of hate to me, for me personally. But, ladies and gentlemen, that is just my thoughts on Fantastic Four from 1994. Be sure to stay tuned in later today. I should have both of my individual reviews for the Tim Story Fantastic Four movies coming out, so stay tuned for that. And then probably Fan 4 Stick review should be coming out tomorrow. Followed by my Fantastic Four First Steps review, which should be coming out Friday, and stay tuned for my Out Theater reaction on Thursday. It will all be climaxing in a big ranking, and then I hope I'll be able to do a spoiler review. Why I say I hope is just because I didn't get to do the Superman spoiler spoiler review like I wanted to, so that was a little unfortunate, but hopefully with this I'm actually able to do a spoiler review for it. But with that being said, guys, I'll see y'all next one, everybody. Peace out.